No way, are there people... Wait, are you streaming that?
Yeah. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. How are we looking, boys? How's the quality, boys? Is it 1080p? Let me know what the quality's saying. Is it lagging? How's the audio? Audio's good. I hope she breaks your heart. Yeah, same, bro. Quality's fine. Is the video quality and the audio quality good? Let me know, boys. Yeah, good quality, sweet. Maybe you take this. I'm gonna send you with the pens. Go get yourself a coffee, man. I've got like 2 hours, yeah. I'll see you
Leave
later.
the car running or should I turn it on?
Turn it off and leave me the key. That's really good. Got baby here as well. Okay, boys. Damn, she got ass, bro. Mashallah, bro. What are they putting in this fucking Starbucks latte these days? I'm trying to find a place that I can put this down. Fuck. Fucking hell, how'd you turn off the indicator on this bitch, bro? Fuck. I just press some random ass shit. How do I turn off the indicator on this bitch, bro? What? It says follow me. Can you guys hear that? Oh, it's lagging. Why the fuck is it making a noise, bro? Click to leave it out. How the fuck do you... I need help, boys. Can you see the both of the indicators are going off and I don't know how to turn them off in this car. So put the key back in. Why is it doing that, bro? What the fuck? Push the... No, it's not the hazard thing. Yeah, it's weird as fuck, bro. I don't know what. Cruise control ready. Yeah, sweet. You can tell I can't fucking drive. And we got donations in this bitch as well. The first one was Underground Podcast, 99 cents. The second one was Dodo JR, HRK, $10. Can you please make a video about studying? Yeah, I got you, bro. Space Cat, $5. You, Sneeko, Andrew, and Tristan say you've been a great help to society. God bless you. 100. Yeah. This car, it's just the rental, boys. Whilst I'm traveling. Let me take a car date with Hamza. How's that? Hold it like this. It's warm in this bitch, bro. Someone said I joined Al-Qaeda with that beard. Why is my ear so big? Your beard's so nice. I can drive an automatic, obviously, because it's not very hard, but I can't do it legally. I don't even have a license, bro. Honestly, I sound like a dick, but I've never even needed to drive because I've always had girls who drive for me. So turn the AC. Yeah, how do you turn the AC on in this bitch? That's a good shout, bro. The cars are fucking complicated, man. Yeah. Is the AC really loud? I'll turn it off in a second. Let me just cool down a little bit. I'm like a dog that's been left in a car. Is that really loud? It's fucking warm in this bitch, bro. Fuck. Nina Pizza. Yeah, she probably is, to be honest. She's trying to find friends on self-improvement. Such a budget ass live stream setup. The internet and the Airbnb is not good enough, so I'm literally just sat in a car park, just live streaming, and I just told the girl that I'm with to like go get a coffee for 2 hours whilst I sit here. She's went into a coffee shop nearby. Oh, we got better donations coming through. How do I tell my parents I'm not a Muslim? Just don't even tell them, bro. They won't believe you either way. I've said it once or twice to my family, and they don't believe me when I say to them like, "Oh yeah, I'm not really religious." For the get, hand me a license fund. Oh, learn to drive, you pusk. Thank you, bro. Aaron Bagel, the jackpot, $2.99. Update us on your life. What's happening in my life? I'm in Scotland right now. Just finished up in the gym. Doing good, mum. So I'm here for a month, just working on this laptop, writing a book. Got like 20,000 words, about 60 pages of a book done. So that'll be done within a few weeks, and we'll have it released maybe a month from now. And it's gonna be fucking sick, bro, boys. Honestly, it's gonna be so fucking good, this book that I'm writing. So that's the big focus I'm on right now. And we're also changing up the channel. So we're not gonna do like, you know, the same daily videos that we're doing right now, and instead I'm gonna be doing way more sort of organized guides, which I'm really excited for as well. That was the jackpot. Car tick super chatted $2, bro, go take a shower. I just had one, man. And then I've got to turn this off actually a little bit, don't I? Jet Cops 21, thanks for helping, giving us brown boys a better name. Too many cringe and bad stereotypes out there. Your true inspiration. Jet Cops 21 just said thanks for helping us give brown boys a better name, and that's something we've needed, man. I remember when I was a teenager, and all I'd ever see about brown people was like, you know, Muslims are bad and terrorists and everything. I remember like I actually hated being brown. I thought being brown was like a curse. I thought girls wouldn't ever like me. I thought everyone in like the society nearby thought I was like a dangerous terrorist or some shit. And honestly, for me, it was this singer. Some of you guys might know him. His name is Zayn Malik. I think he was in like One Direction, like this really famous boy band, and now he does like his own music by himself. And he went famous when I was in high school or college or whenever it was. Like he was on some talent show video. And I remember just like seeing so many girls talk about him, and you know, they were like, "Oh my god, he's so attractive," and it just hit me, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like he's a brown guy who's attractive to girls, who's, you know, like a good standing member of society or something. And something just clicked in my brain, and I was like, yeah, like I've been using brown as an excuse, like my skin color as an excuse. I was so convinced for most of my young adult life that I couldn't get girls because I was brown skinned. And now I see the same thing. I literally just see the same thing with a bunch of young guys who are black, who are brown, who are short, and they always just say to themselves, it's this circumstance which means that they're going to be lonely forever. And my response to that is always to ask them, is there someone with the same circumstance as you who has the result or the thing that you want in life? Is there a black guy who can get girls? Yes. So you can too. Is there a brown guy who can get girls? Yes, so you can too. Is there short guys who get girls? Yes, so you can too. So it was never this particular circumstance in which we use as an excuse, and no one wants to really be told that they're using an excuse, but it is. It's never the particular circumstance, because someone else has the same circumstance as you. Someone else is from India. Someone else has got the exact same family, like, you know, the same family, toxic, abusive dynamic that you do, and they've achieved a massive level of success. So it isn't the circumstance. It's just that you're a lazy motherfucker. If you can sit there and actually feel a level of like hatred for that and be like, oh fuck, he's right. You know, all this time I thought I was supposed to be like broke because people in India just don't make as much money. Is there some rich guy in India? Yes. So he has the same circumstance as you, but he has not used it as an excuse. I'm so fucking glad, bro. It's so weird, like this random ass singer, like I don't even listen to his music, but his name is Zayn Malik, or is that Malik or something, and maybe a bunch of you guys will know him because he's really, really popular. Just seeing him be so attractive to girls, and you know, girls are going crazy because he's like a young teenage like singer who looks attractive. Girls are going crazy for him. Just something clicked, and I was like, oh fuck, like all this time I've been using my skin color as a fucking excuse. Like here's a brown guy who's clearly pulling right now. Oh, we got so many. How do I change the I'm just gonna change the settings of this because we're getting so many of these donations. Super chat. I'm gonna change it to like 5. There you go. But I'll still read them out as well. Bro, go take a shower. Will Micro, did you get your Circle DNA results? Are you gonna make a video about it? I might make a video about it, but yeah, I've got my DNA results. I've got essentially the perfect diet for my DNA. I've got the perfect workout routine, the perfect sleep schedule. Everything's been optimized. I paid £2,500 for this coaching program that I'm on, and they've literally taken everything about me in terms of my DNA, my blood, everything. Yeah. And now everything's optimized, which is so fucking nice. I've got a routine that I can stick to. Op Global, Sneeko better. Yeah, Sneeko's really good at streaming, bro. Alan Walkman, I'd buy Adonis shirts if you sold them. I don't think I do shirts, but I might do a bathrobe soon. True opinion on Andrew Tate, spreading a very good message. He is the absolute epitome of a man with 100% masculine energy, and I don't think the world is ready for that. I think the world is so protected and comfortable and safe that so many people will hate a man like that because he isn't necessarily needed just yet. But as I've always said, the strong men will be needed soon. Blake F, $9.99. Grateful for your vids, bro, especially the unfiltered content. You definitely helped change my life. Keep staying humble and accountable. Love seeing the progress. Love from Maryland, USA. Thank you, Blake. So many people ask about my ear, and a lot of people have this conspiracy theory that I wear the bathrobe or I wear like hoodies with the hood up to try and hide my ear, as if I'm like really insecure of it or something. Like, clearly not, bro. I'm not an insecure guy, to be honest. Jensen McKay, just wanted to say thank you, Hamza, for spreading your message. Was just in Scotland a week ago trying to do the 3 peaks. Good man. You're welcome as well, bro. Jensen. The 3 peaks in the UK it's a challenge to go up like 3 mountains in 24 hours. I might do that, actually. Are you an elf? Thoughts on COVID and brainwashing of society? I was a good boy for about 1.5 years or 2 years when all like the COVID stuff was happening. I followed the rules and shit, and I took it seriously. And I thought anyone who wasn't getting the vaccine was really weird. Like I was one of them who got the vaccine and everything, and I couldn't see why. Like I never took into consideration the other side of the arguments. And then when I met Iman Gadzhi, he's like the millionaire who lives in Dubai, a really famous entrepreneur. So I went to Dubai and I lived with this millionaire, and then he was like very anti like all COVID stuff. And just speaking to him just kind of rewired my mind. So I was like, oh fuck, like there's actually very good points against the sort of health practices that you've seen. I'm pretty sure you get like banned on YouTube or some shit if you talk about it, which is really fucked when you really think people's freedoms got taken away from them for years. And I'm reading a book right now which is very like anti-government, anti-society, anti-medicine, what's that word? Pharmaceutical, some shit like that. I'm reading a book right now which is like very anti-doctors, and I can't help but think that I'm not sure if we should have 100% trust in the people that we think are trying to help us. That's a good one. Someone just asked a really good question. I'll sneak up then. Marco Denkamp. Hamza, what do you think about Sneeko getting slowly from social media? Sneeko getting cancelled from social media. For example, his Twitter is deleted because talking about masculine stuff or something. Yeah. So Sneeko got banned on Twitter. I checked yesterday. He's not banned on like YouTube or anything, but he's banned on Twitter now. Which is fucking sad. I don't know what he was posting on Twitter. I don't like keep up to date with like influencers and someone's just been banned or anything. I'm usually like a couple of days late when something like that's happened. So I don't know what he was posting, but probably similar to the kind of stuff that he says on YouTube, where he's being against like modern women and modern times and everything, and he's speaking about masculinity and weak men and everything. And to get banned for something like that is such a fucking disgrace, honestly. Like, I think Fresh and Fit made a good point that we can't really make the argument that they're not giving you your freedom of speech because these are private companies who don't have to follow like the big law of your governments. They're literally private companies, and they can determine what violates the terms and conditions or not. For example, I'm banned on Instagram. I don't know how many of you guys have seen that. I'm banned on Instagram. How fucked is that? I made a video saying that Instagram is bad for your mental health and that we should delete it, and then they banned me after that. I think this is the modern day assassination. I think if you previously rustled the wrong feathers, if you previously, let's say 20 years ago, 50 years ago, this kind of WikiLeaks, do you guys remember that guy? What was his name? Julian Assange or some shit. It was like this guy who leaked a lot of like the wrongdoings of the American government or something like that, and he had to go into hiding because the American government were trying to like assassinate him. Like obviously I'm getting this completely wrong because it's been a few years and I'm not like up to date with news or anything, but it was Julian Assange, something like that, and he created WikiLeaks, which leaked a bunch of like bad shit that like the government or someone in power was doing, and then he had like assassination attempts on him. And I think it's the exact same thing, but now just in the digital era, where instead of getting assassinated, you'll just get cancelled, you'll get silenced, you'll be made to disappear. Don't you think Andrew Tate is at least a little demeaning to women? Demeaning to women. It depends what your expectation and current belief of women and relationships are. If you're more of like a modern male feminist weak man and you believe in the lie of equality, especially in a relationship, and you think men and women are the same and everything, and you think that men and women should both bring masculine and feminine traits, like we should, as a man, we should bring masculine and feminine, and she should bring masculine and feminine, and if you want a depolarized non-sexual relationship, the kind of one where your woman can't help but to fantasize about some masculine guy who used to absolutely dominate her. If you're one of these modern men, then yeah, you probably do think that someone like Andrew Tate's being like very sexist, because his perception of women very largely goes against your perception of women. But the more masculine you get and the more you realize how different you are to women, especially feminine women, you kind of realize like the offensive shit he's saying, the really sexist shit he's saying, has a lot of like fact behind it, but you'll only really see that if you've become that level of man, and also that sort of polarity, that's that energy of man where you're so masculine, where you can actually be around feminine women. So when Andrew Tate was first going viral, I thought he was a bit crazy as well, and this was 6 months ago, and that's because I was somewhat dating more of like a normal, more like masculine kind of woman who wasn't like very feminine, and so I couldn't, and my experiences were always with women who were more in the middle, and because I was a lot more in the middle, the last 6 months has been almost like a full-time job for me to become more masculine. I think this is one of the most important things that I've done, maybe just behind improving my mental health. I've become so much more masculine. I've learned so much more about it. You've probably noticed because I talk about it so much more on YouTube, and because of that, I'm automatically attracting more feminine women, and I realized like how different we are. And so much of the shit that offended me that Andrew Tate used to say 6 months ago, that I was so certain was like crazy, and now I'm like, fuck, like he literally predicted this. That's exactly the dynamic that I have with the girl that I'm with right now. So I feel like for the people who really disagree with this message in terms of what he says about women, I just wouldn't be surprised if those guys are just dating more masculine women, and so they've never really spent time with feminine women before. Let's see, we got loads of super chats, man. Sick. Persian Productions, $14.99. Hey bro, I'm in such a lazy rut at the moment, but watching you and all the influx of strong men has gotten me into a good process. That's you at the top, Hamza. Low from Brisbane, Australia. Thank you for that, bro. You're in a lazy rut at the moment. It happens, man. It happens. I found that when I was first on self-improvement, I was in one of those ruts a couple times a week. I was mainly in the rut, and every now and then I'd end up having some kind of positive experience, but then like my baseline, like, you know, in a game, your base attack, my base attack was being in like a lazy, procrastinated rut. And I found that as you stay on self-improvement for longer and longer and longer, it kind of starts swaying on the other side, where eventually it gets to like 50% split between just being a lazy guy, having lazy days throughout the week, and also 50% of like being productive. And now it's like far more on the other side for me, where I'm in such a good mood, good productive energy, where every now and then the weird thing for me is a bit of like laziness. And even then it's like I couldn't even describe myself as lazy anymore, because my laziest days is literally just I'll read for 6 hours. That's it. Like, that's my worst behavior. It's just that I'll read instead of really wanting to sit down and record videos. Sometimes I don't want to record when I probably should, so I don't record, and I end up reading productive stuff instead. So you just got to stay on it, man. You've got to almost have this mentality that you kind of deserve to be in a rut right now, because you've spent like 20 years just being a jackass. And I don't say that to be insulting, but you spent 20 years being a Jeffrey, so you deserve to have this slow progression to becoming more like Adonis. You can't just suddenly have 7 good days a week. Tone super chatted $15. Love your videos, mate, as well as Chris's. Chris's first, man, for anyone who doesn't know. A lot resonates with myself myself and upbringing, being from Eastern Europe. Keep killing it, man. I believe in the journey and the movement. Love from us. Thank you, Tone. Agro, super chatted $10. Oh, what's up, Victory? I'm back in the UK for uni. After underperforming last time, I'm ready to get good grades, start a business, and work towards achieving my Olympic track dream. Thanks for inspiring me way back then, bro. You're welcome, man. Thank you for making the big... we need to do a big announcement for that. So Agro, he donated £10 then. His name's Victory on Discord, and I'm pretty sure it was mostly you, wasn't it? Or maybe it was a team of you guys, but I've not really looked into it too much just yet. But there's a nice like setup on the Discord now, on different Discord servers, to make friends on self-improvements. So I need to like learn how to use it myself, and then I'll do like a big announcement, and we can have a big push towards getting everyone to meet up in person in your own city, to find some guys to like go to the gym with and be on self-improvement with, which I think is like very, very valuable. Peasant to King super chatted $5. Hamza, I lost the mother of my children to drugs and partying. I wasn't a good enough man to keep her in check. I don't want anything, just pray for me. I lost the mother of my children to drugs and partying. I wasn't a good enough man to keep her in check. I like that you took responsibility for that, because the truth is that even if you do meet, like, she is a degenerate. I know this sounds like hateful, but if she's taking drugs and partying, she's a degenerate woman. If you're a certain level of man, you can take the worst kind of woman and still improve her to a very significant point. But even then, the thing is, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. If there's a girl who's prone to like partying or low quality behaviors, it's like a higher quality man wouldn't even bother with her, because if you are higher quality, then you've got the ability to attract more women who have like a better foundation. Like always, it's the fucking hurtful truth of relationships. Never forget the foundation. Never forget like the foundational traits that she has, her family, underlying traumas and stuff. Never forget that, because she could be a good girl for you right now, but if her foundation is fucked, if her father left the home when she was young, if her mother's an alcoholic, if she was abused as a child, if she was sexually abused as a teenager, these things will significantly negatively impact your relationship, and you may not just see it just yet because you're in the honeymoon phase. If she's prone to partying and drugs, you must have 100% belief that she's getting dicked down in these parties. You like, shut the fuck up. Honestly, shut the fuck up. If your girl's going out to a party, you must have the one, like, you've got to be some... Fuck me. When I think back about the relationships I was in, and it was, you know, I was a weak, very, very weak man compared to what I am now, and it was a normal thing for a girl to still go out drinking with her friends and partying and shit, and I was getting gaslit. I was the one being shown as like the bad guy when I would be uncomfortable and anxious about it. And then I was like so convinced, oh yeah, like maybe I'm just an insecure guy, maybe I've just got anxious attachment style. Bro, fuck that. It's a real gut instinct inside of a man that when your woman's going out to do some degenerate shit, of course you feel disgusted by it, of course you feel so unattracted, of course you feel anxious. If she's going out and doing degenerate shit, if she's like dressed up nice to go out into a club or to a party or to like drink, shut the fuck up, bro. There's like, boys, people don't give you permission to do this. Trust your gut instinct. Trust your gut instinct. If there's something that a girl does or says that gives you a gut instinct, like a repulsive, anxious feeling, know for a fact that like you're supposed to feel that. That is literally all of your ancestors, all of the men in your bloodline are giving you like a message to say, bro, watch yourself. And we ignore it because we're deemed as controlling. I dated a girl, some of you might know this story because this was about 2 years ago and I was still posting videos, or 1 year ago. I dated a girl who gaslit the fuck out of me with her, all of her friends, her mother, everyone, saying that I was like controlling because I said to her, like, I didn't even say, oh, you can't go out or anything. I just said that it would make me so anxious if she was still going out to parties that then I wouldn't want to continue the relationship. And I literally was branded as such a bad guy for this. And I look back now to that version of younger Hamza 1 year ago and I'm just like, bro, you were in so much fucking pain because when you invest into a woman but then you see that she's not investing back into you, it fucking hurts. So to you, peasant to king, this guy who donated $5 10 minutes ago, Hamza, I lost the mother of my children to drugs and partying. She was never yours in the first place, bro. If she's taking drugs, if she's going out partying, and whether you want to believe it or not, when a girl goes out to party, bro, she's having sex with other guys. I don't give a fuck how secure you feel in your relationship. That's my belief, and people can say I'm anxious or something. But if anyone, a man or a woman, puts themselves in that kind of party environment, they're doing it because they want to sleep around, whether or not they're actually committed in a relationship. So you never even lost her, bro. She was never yours. Dodo, and I know that's fucking ruthless to say, but I hope you can feel some level of male aggression to this right now. And to anyone listening to this, if you're a young man and you've been in this dynamic of being in a serious relationship with a girl who's not really taking it as seriously as you, and she's still, Snapchatting guys, and she's still going to parties and stuff, I know it fucking hurts to hear, but bro, she's not yours. You're sharing her right now, and you're probably truly committed to her. Fuck me, man. When I think back at times when this was what was happening to me, my mental health was so fucking bad. Being in a very good, this isn't a relationship what I'm in right now, but being in a very good dating experience with a good feminine submissive girl, it sets some standards for me which is so different. I can't help but think back to previous girls I've dated, and to just think about that version of me and think, almost want to slap him. It's why the fuck would you take that? You're so much better than that, younger Hamza. Why would you stay with a girl who acts like that? You need a girl who increases your standards, or just do it for yourself, or do it through my words here. Increase your fucking standards so that you don't feel anxious and disgusted with the girl that you're with because she's still going out and flirting with guys, even though she tells you it's not flirting. She's got a Snapchat streak with 7 guys. You go out with her and she runs up and hugs the bouncer. Oh, fucking hell. Has that ever happened to anyone here? When I used to be a degenerate myself and I'd go out to clubs with degenerate women, every now and then there'd be one of them, a girl I was dating, she was a pretty hot girl, and she was, a full-on DJ, and so she's going out 3 times a week. She'd big body count as well, but mine was big at the time, and I thought it was we're equal and shit. There was a time when she ran up to this big fucking bouncer and hugged him and 3 other bouncers. I was like, oh fuck, bro. Oh fuck me, bro. Break up with her straight then, bro. I don't give a fuck if someone says I'm anxious or some shit for that, bro. That's a fucking violation of your human rights to see your girl go run up to a big guy, a big bouncer of a club or some shit, and just fucking hug him, man. And she knows them by first name and everything, and she gets into the club for free and shit. Dodo Jr., what's your book about and how much will it cost? I don't know how much it'll cost, but it'll just be a normal book price. And what it's about, it's principles for men. So right now I've not finished it, but let's say the title will be something like 37 principles for men. Principles, rules for life that I think you should follow, or that I've at least learned and that I want to spend time. Abdur Khan 179. How long would you recommend to spend on socials? I spend 0 time on social media now, and I think that's the best way. A lot of people disagree with me and they say I'm being too dramatic. My friends even say that, Sam, for example, Harbinator, he says that I'm being too dramatic with this and that. Oh no, it's okay and stuff, but everyone who disagrees with me, I see that they've got a social media addiction, and they try to pretend it's okay because it's just for work and I only use it for a few minutes. Shut the fuck up. Everyone who disagrees with me that you should spend 0 time on social media is addicted to it and spends at least 5 to 10 hours a week on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Discord, all this shit. And it's very easy to kind of look at me as a guy who's deleted all social media, or I have his YouTube, and I don't even consume YouTube. I'm just a creator. It's for business and everything. And it's very easy to just say, oh no, it's not realistic, but I need Instagram to message. Shut up. No, you don't. So how long would I recommend? Best case scenario is 0. If you use it for business, then use it for as much as you want. If it's really for business, don't be a little fucking liar. Don't just start I've got an Instagram meme page, so I've got to look at memes on Instagram. Shut up, bro. And if you do want to use it for getting pussy, some guys need to. I'm not gonna lie. I am at the privilege. So that's for business, and that's for like pleasure of like, oh yeah, I'm just using it for fun. Zero, right? So for business, be on social media as much as you want. In terms of consuming content for fun, I would say zero. To consume zero TikToks for fun, consume zero Instagram reels, or some bullshit that you're just spending time on, zero. But in terms of forgetting girls, it can be a very good tool, and that's what probably one of the best sort of counters to my point is, oh, but I use Instagram to get girls. I use it to find girls and stuff, and that, I have to admit, I'm privileged enough to not really need it. Cold approaching and just like being social has been more than enough. It's given me an abundance now, but I also have a huge following on YouTube, and like girls who are fans of mine kind of just find ways to contact me, and I end up getting with them anyway. So I'm privileged in that sense that I don't need Tinder, I don't need Instagram, I don't have any social media apps or anything now. If I wasn't like this, let's say if I didn't have a social media following, or I had a few thousand on Instagram but not on YouTube, I would probably hear my message of deleting Instagram and be like, oh no, wait, because I get pussy from it. So it is a bit of a mix. But what I will say is that the girls you do get on Instagram and from Tinder are going to be lower quality. And if you just want to fuck a couple of girls, maybe fair enough. If you want something more serious, if you want something a bit more polarized, like just higher quality, it's so cliche to say this. So many people will say this to you, and so many people used to say it to me, and I even used to say it but not truly believe it, which is, yeah, like the women you meet on Instagram and Tinder are going to be lower quality, and you should try and meet them in real life. And it's so unrealistic because it's very rare to meet a girl who isn't on Instagram, but that's what I've done. It's it takes a while, but once you do find that kind of girl, and like obviously I had to be a certain level of man. I had to be like she's really into like mental. She's not here. She's in a cafe right now, but she's really into like mental health. She does yoga every day and everything. And I was able to attract her, obviously because I'm attractive, I'm successful and stuff. But like a big part of it was our personality, like our energy matched so well because I'm not on Instagram either. I remember the thing that impressed me most about her on the first day that we had together was that she was just waiting for me in my room whilst I was like sorting things out in the villa. Like we were leaving we were leaving this Airbnb on the last day of Thailand, and the guys who owned the villa, they came in and they wanted to inspect some things, they wanted to like look around, and they wanted to speak to me because we had like to pay a bunch of fines because we burnt there was a fire in the villa and everything, and there was a bunch of damages, so I had to keep coming out of the room. And every time I would leave the room to speak to these guys who owned the villa, then come back in maybe 5 minutes later to see this girl still there, every single time, bro, she was literally just lying there, just waiting for me. I found that so fucking attractive. She was not on her phone. I can't like explain to you how attractive that was, that every time I'd walk back in, she literally wasn't just fucking brain dead on her phone like she needed more stimulation. She was just looking so fucking sexy. I fell in love with her that day, like literally the first day, like she did as well. Literally the first day we spent together, we both fell in love with each other. Alan Walkman super chatted $100. Let's go, bro. Always thought the USA had a problem with feminine men, but after watching your videos for a while, I understand that's not the case. Currently not sure what the culture is like in UK and other European countries in terms of whether dating and masculine men. Thoughts? I'm not sure what the culture is like in the UK. Generally, oh boys, I've got to tell you something. Okay, you want to know what the UK is like? I should even just get her to come back so we can both talk and tell you. The last few days, so we've been in Scotland and we've been going to a bunch of cafes and restaurants together, and bro, I have not, and both of us have not been impressed by one single couple. So me and this girl that I'm with, we're very attuned to the masculine feminine dynamic. She's reading the same books that I've read. So she's reading David Dieter's The Way of the Superior Man. She read all that, and she's reading a different book which is about masculine feminine energy. So she's very much like aware of like masculine feminine energy, and I am because I've been teaching it. We have not been impressed by one single couple so far. In fact, we can't help but to feel quite disgusted and repulsed by pretty much every single couple, and there's probably been 50 or 100 over the last week that we've seen in restaurants and dinners and cafes and everywhere, bro. Every fucking time we're sat down eating a meal and a couple walks in, who do you think walks in first? Who should walk in first? Who should be the leader of the relationship? The man. And who do you guys think always walks in first? The woman. And now, that sounds quite silly. It's like a weird thing to pick out, bro. They sit down. Who do you think talks to the waiter? Who do you think orders the food? Who do you think answers any question? It's always the fucking woman. The guy, every single couple that we've seen, the guy is always like a little baby, like a little fucking boy next to like his mother of a girlfriend or a wife. She's ordering the food while he stood there behind her. And then you know what the worst thing is? She'll order the food, she'll be the one dominant and stuff, and then he'll pull out the fucking credit card to pay for it. Fuck me, it makes me cringe. It really makes me cringe seeing this dynamic now, and I will, I've become aware of it over the last few months, but this trip particularly over the last few weeks, over the last week, because me and this girl that I'm with have really been thinking about this and talking about this and really enjoying our masculine feminine energy together. We've picked up on this so fucking well that like every time we're in a relationship, we just kind of look over to a couple and give each other like this certain look, which is like, yep, here's another fucking depolarized relationship where the man's not masculine, the woman's not feminine. They're barely friends. They'll get so much social validation when they post on Instagram, and it's like, oh, that's my best friend. I can't believe I get to marry my best friend. Meanwhile, they have sex once every 3 days. The woman's cut her hair short. The guy's looking like a fucking dweeb. It's so for some reason, I said this to her as well, like for some reason I have a level of hate towards those kind of couples. I don't really know why. I'm so negative towards them. Maybe it's a self-hatred because I lived like that for a while. But what the point that she made once was like, she said like, I really wish we could just go over to them and teach them the things that we know. And then it kind of hit me. I was like, oh fuck, like these people that I'm seeing, these depolarized couples, these feminine men, these masculine women, they're not bad people. They're victims of this societal conditioning around us that have told women to be strong, that have told men to be in touch with their emotions. They're not bad people at all. They need our help, but that sounds so condescending. Obviously it's socially abnormal to go up to a couple in a restaurant and be like, oh well, you guys are doing it wrong, you should be like us. But it's a very sad statement. I don't know how many of you have been reading books into masculinity and femininity, like reading the book The Way of the Superior Man. If you read books like this, if you really start learning about masculine energy and feminine energy, your eyes will fucking split open and you'll be like, holy fuck, I've been living life the wrong way. No wonder I've been dating such hostile, cold, masculine women so far. I don't know about you, but fuck me, feminine women are so fucking attractive. It's like my new type. People ask like, oh, like ass or tits, and like, what's your type in a woman, bro? My answer's so fucking simple now. My answer, what's my attraction to a woman? Feminine. Boom. That's all I have to explain. And what's interesting, I've dated a fair amount of women. I've slept with a fair amount of women. This is one of the very few women I can actually say that I'm with now who's actually way more into a feminine energy. I'd say she's probably 90% feminine. The only time she's in the 10% masculine is when I leave her to, for example, like focus on something like making dinner. But even then, that's probably in feminine because it's quite submissive and serving to me. We have a very good dynamic. Very, very good dynamic. This is the best dynamic I've had with a girl in my entire life. So to answer your question, Alan Walkman, what's the culture like in the UK? It's very depolarized. The men are feminine, the women are masculine, the women are quite repulsive and cold and hostile, and the men are quite weak. The men gossip, the men are submissive. Yeah. I'd say the biggest issue for the long term, if we're talking serious shit, I've said this to a few friends recently, to like Chris from First Man, and I've said this to this girl as well, that I will not be having children in this country. I realize now that obviously family is the most important thing, and you want a good family, you want a good mother, and you want to have like good children, you want to be a good father. But I realize just how much the country that you're in determines the life of your children. And so this is something which may be some of the most important stuff that I've ever said before. If you're considering being a father soon, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, remember these words, and hopefully you can learn more from them. Only have children in a country in which the father is in total control of the family. Do not have children in a country where the government controls the family and can take the father out of the picture with no problem. Essentially what that means is do not have children in the West. Do not have children in a country in which the father's frame isn't the priority. The father should be the ruler of the country because he is the ruler of the family. And in the West, that is not the case. The father is not the ruler of the family. The mother is, and as soon as the mother gets slightly pissed off at him, she actually benefits. That's so weird. She actually benefits from leaving the relationship and taking the children. There's actually a monetary benefit for her doing that. It's promoted. It's socially acceptable. It's a normal thing for a man and a woman to have children
and for the woman to feel like a level of excitement to think, oh wait, if I leave him, I'll get a big payday. My other single friends, you know, these women that I'm friends with who are all drinking wine, they've all divorced their husbands and their children seem fine. I'll get money from the government. I'll be supported. Okay, I can do that. The government actually allows this to happen, whereas in other Eastern, more traditional countries, the government almost like has a big middle finger to women who want to leave their family, who want to split up their family, and that's exactly what we need. That the government takes a big step back in like older, like traditional countries. The government is way less involved because it's supposed to be for the father and the mother to settle things out. That's how it's supposed to be. I am not having children in a country in which I am not the head of the family. These guys spamming religious shit. What was this? Let's see. Some guy with a Chinese name, Super's chatted 30 Yang. Thank you, Hamza, about all you did. Because of you, I lost 30 kilos. I quit social media. By the way, I never had Instagram, but I did. But I did have TikTok and things like that. But it's the best time in my life because of you. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, bro. Drew Clark, super chatted 179. What city are you in, bro? I'm in Inverness. I'm in Inverness too, bro. I'm in Inverness, Scotland for the next 3 weeks. Hiromi Kanai, super chatted $5. Love your content, Hamza. Give us a front double bicep, bro. Tristan Kubas, 10 Canadian dollars. Advice for love of your life moments. Getting super close with a girl, but it's super fast. I would never use the phrase love of your life ever again, bro. Not only one, does it sound cringe, but two, it's based on this like blue pill modern narrative that you're gonna have like this one girl who's so perfect for you and that you should do everything for, and it's not the case anymore. It's not reality. You're gonna have plenty of loves of your life. You're gonna meet plenty of the ones. So if you have this mindset right now, chances are you're emotionally investing too much into it. And I don't want to sound negative because like, okay, what you found is beautiful and I'm so happy for you in that sense. But I just want you to be a little bit more rational, because that's what she's attracted to you for anyway. She's attracted to you for your masculinity, and right now you're not being masculine if you're calling her the love of your life and you're like being very emotionally invested into her. You could have asked any question at all, and it could have been about your purpose, it could have been about your mission, it could have been about your goals, but you've asked based on relationship and love, which shows you're more in your feminine energy. So that's the advice I would give you, is stay masculine, stay focused on a big mission, stay focused on your goals, wake up and think about your goals all day, and at like 7 p.m. then start thinking about her. Anglios donated €3. Thank you for changing my life, Hamza. You're welcome, bro. Shabin Singh super chatted 200 Indian rupees, I think that is. Hamza, even after knowing what to do, like all the productive things, I'm still not being able to keep them up after making a routine. I am back on my Jeffrey days. Any tips? This is something I help a fair amount of guys with. So you know what to do, and you sometimes do it, but you just don't do it consistently enough to really see good results, and it pisses you off. You have to understand that you're not that great. You have to understand that you're still 95% of a Jeffrey. You've been a Jeffrey for 20 years of your life. And so you need to lose this level of ego that you have to think that suddenly after watching a few videos of mine or Ali Abdul's video, you know, some video or some book, that suddenly you know about self-improvement and you're actually pissed off that you can't just be on perfect self-improvement. You can't just do 7 good days out of 7. You don't deserve to have 7 good days. You've been a piece of shit for 20 years of your life. So if you're 90% of a piece of shit for this week, that's progress. If you're 90% of a Jeffrey this week, that's progress. If you have 6.5 bad days out of 7 this week, that's progress. Next week, make that into 6 bad days. A month from now, make that into 4 bad days per week. 6 months from now, make that into 2 bad days per week. 2 years from now, make that into 0 bad days per week. A lot of you young guys have this huge fucking ego and this like just a level of not really knowing how these things work. You hear about NoFap and you suddenly just expect it to be perfect on NoFap, and you get kind of pissed off and you relapse. Like, no, fuck you. You've had a porn addiction for like 10 years, bro. What the fuck? Why are you expecting it to be perfect straight away, man? You find NoFap, you're supposed to still fap like 6 times a week when you find it. You're supposed to relapse 6 times a week. And then a month from now, then maybe it's 5 times a week. Then 6 months from now, maybe it's 4 times a week that you relapse. I found NoFap. maybe 7 years ago, and it took me around 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It took me 5 years to get to the point where you want to get to, in terms of, yeah, I just don't fap anymore, I don't watch porn, I don't masturbate, I just don't do that at all. It took me 5 years to get to that point, but I was so mentally just fucked up because I thought that it was supposed to be perfect right away. I found no fap, and I was like, oh, like I keep relapsing after 3 days. I want to go back and tell that version of little Hamza and just be like, bro, what the fuck, you just went 3 days without jacking off. That's progress. Why aren't you happy about it? Because you've got this messed up perception thinking that you can just get to 7 days out of 7 instantly. No, fuck you. It takes time, man. It takes time. You've got to pay your dues. You lived like a Jeffrey for so long, so you still have to live partly like a Jeffrey now. You have to be okay with having a couple of good days per week. Arjun Goel super chatted 100 Indian rupees. Girls avoid guys in my class mostly. One guy gets most of the female attention. How do I make friends with girls without weirding them out? Your question's all fucked, bro. Your question's way fucked up. You don't want to be friends with them. This is why you're weirding them out. This, like, boys, listen up. If you're a young guy especially, I'm going to re-say this guy's question. If you're a young man, especially if you're in school, you need to listen to this, because this is how, like, this is advice to get girls that's brutally fucking honest that no one's ever told you. Arjun Goel asked, girls avoid guys in my class mostly. One guy gets most of the female attention. How do I make friends with girls without weirding them out? So this guy has asked, how do I make friends with girls without weirding them out, because most of the girls in my class avoid the guys there because they find them weird. You're one of the weird guys. You know why? You don't want to be friends with them. If you were totally honest right now, if you weren't a pussy, if you weren't a coward, and you just totally admitted it with full honesty, you don't want to be friends with them. You want to fuck, don't you? Arjun Goel, you want to fuck. The fact that you're lying about this, not only to them, because you go up to these girls in this creepy ass way where you're trying to be friendly, but they can tell that you're trying to fuck, but you're lying to us as well. You don't want to be friends with them, bro. You want to learn how to actually pull them. You want to learn how to attract them, but it becomes weird and cringe and awkward. You become one of those guys that gets ignored when you try to go up to them as like this fucking friend. You guys have been convinced, like you young guys especially, have been convinced to never polarize women, to never sort of show them that you're attracted to them, to never outwardly show any display at all that you actually want to have sex with these women. You've been conditioned to be such pussies, to like pretend to be friends first, and this is why girls don't respect you. No girl is ever going to respect a guy who tries to like friend his way into a pussy. You go up there, you make your intentions clear that you're attracted to her and that you want to get her number, that you want to speak to her, and if she rejects you, which 90% of women will, you shrug your shoulders and be like, okay, sweet. That's how you get the respect of girls. You don't want to be their friend, bro. And it's interesting that the same guy said one guy gets most of the female attention in his entire class, which is the 80-20 rule. The top 10% of men get pretty much every girl's attention, and the bottom 90% of men are trying to be friends with those girls. So you choose which group you want to be in. If you want to keep asking questions like, oh, how do I be friends with girls without weirding them out? You're going to stay in the bottom 90%, bro. Or you go up to her, you make your intentions clear, you go up to her with some level of confidence, and of course you're going to be nervous. But there's that girl you find cute, just literally go up to her, I've always thought you were cute. And it's cringe and it's uncomfortable and she's going to say no and it hurts. Oh well. 30 seconds later, you're moving on with your life instead of having this obsessive crush for weeks and months. And fuck, bro, when I was in high school, that was my life story, was literally just never polarizing these women, never actually making my intentions clear, never showing them that I was attracted to them, always staying safe, never risking rejection. And so instead of just a 30-second uncomfortable conversation of getting rejected, I would instead obsess over this girl for weeks and months up until she'd end up getting a boyfriend and my heart would be broken. Fuck that. You're attracted to a girl, as fast as possible, go up and tell her and just see what happens with that. The guy who ends up dating these girls and sleeping with them is the guy who just risked rejection and didn't ask a question like, oh, how do I try and be friends? I'm sorry, like, you know, to criticize you so much, Arjun Goel, you're probably a nice guy, but like that's some pussy shit, bro. That's one of the most cringy questions you could ask, which is like, how do I make friends with girls without weirding them out? Don't. Stop trying to be friends with girls you don't want to actually be friends with. Undead Challenges super chatted $6.99. I wish to thank you for sharing your understanding on gratitude journaling and mental health. It drastically improved my life. You're welcome, man. We're going to have a full mental health guide released on the main channel soon. It's going to be like fully organized. I'm spending maybe 10 hours, 20 hours on it, which is going to be so nice that I've, like, you know, organized it so well. And it's just going to be such a good piece of content on the channel that like you boys can share to your friends and everything. And a young man in the future find the channel and he'll be able to see such a good quality guide for improving his mental health, instead of, because right now it's like it's all over. All my mental health advice is just all over. I wanted it all in just one video that someone could click on. Give me 1 second. Yes. Where are we? Nicholas Andrea super chatted $1. Hassan super chatted $2. Could you have ever imagined yourself in your position before? I've always known I'd be a YouTuber. I was making YouTube videos when I was like 12 years old, and so it was always in my mind that this was what I would do for work eventually. I never really thought to myself like how big it would get. I always considered that I'd have like a few thousand subscribers and I'd be able to make enough money. I never really was a big thinker or very ambitious up until about 2 years ago. But when I did first actually start YouTube and entrepreneurship, that's when I started thinking about big goals. And then since about 1.5 years ago, I've kind of like every milestone we've hit it exactly when I predicted it. It's like my predictions just come true. I've never really been wrong about when we'll hit a certain level of subscribers or view count or anything. Like Manish Khan super chatted 20. I don't know what that is, bro. That currency, 20 yen. Nikki Bilo super chatted 15 something. Can you make a video explaining our gifted kids generation caused by feminine teachers inflating our ego from young age? Identity can be dangerous. That's not something that I'm very experienced or knowledgeable in. In my belief that if a child is hyped up by a teacher that he's really smart, that child will go on to become more smart because of the positive feedback loop, increased confidence, and the power of belief is very strong. But there is also a criticism of this, that telling kids that they're gifted and they're smart when they're not smart kind of fucks up their weird like self-esteem, self-image in a way. But I'm not knowledgeable enough for this though, I'm afraid. Dan Barrera super chatted $2. Antarctica super chatted 249 yen. I'm just gonna call them yen when I don't know what the currency symbol is. I'm 17 from Manila, and I want to thank you for teaching me values people fail to understand. Any advice on getting your ego ahead of you? Thank you so much. On getting your ego ahead of you. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Any advice on getting your ego ahead of you? Do you mean like not letting your ego get ahead of you? Just constant humility. I think humbleness is bullshit. Humbleness is essentially not talking about your success, and I think that's bullshit. I think that's like a value pushed by weak, unsuccessful people, and I don't think that that's something that's like worth cultivating yourself. But humility is the value of still acknowledging your weak points and the things you want to improve on, and I think that's very important. So my advice to you, Antarctica, is become or get more humility, and the book Ego is the Enemy teaches you how to do this. Nicholas Andrea super chatted €2. Mass media propaganda is the enemy, weakening young men. I agree, man. Newman Loan, we got so many super chats, bro. AED $10. How to not run out of things to say. Meditation. Why do you want to not run out of things to say? A lot of young guys who don't really have good social skills really ask this question. Like, okay, Hamza, like, I've followed your social skills advice and I've made some friends, or, you know, I've started speaking to new people, which is really good, but then I run out of things to say. So what should I say? Like, how can I think of more things to say? And I always see this with younger guys who've got less confidence and they've got, like, you know, slightly worse social skills. You don't need to always keep saying something. It's totally normal to run out of things to say and not say anything for some time. Young guys especially get really uncomfortable when there's nothing to be said. Sometimes, if you guys, I'm not sure if you watched, there was a previous stream I did where I got onto Discord calls. I did this like a week ago. And I got onto Discord calls to like coach people live on a live stream on YouTube, so I'd hop into the call, and all of the young guys, they just kind of just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. They'd end a conversation like one point and they just keep talking because they were so uncomfortable of not saying anything. They're so used to just saying something up until someone interrupts, and then there's a new topic. It's totally fine. Imagine me and you were in a conversation that if I was talking about this one thing right now, like this current phrase, like this current topic of what to say, whatever. As soon as I've made my point, it's okay for me to just stop and just look at you and smile. It's okay for us to just sit here for a few minutes. It's okay to not have something to say. So the question shouldn't be how to not run out of things to say. The question should be, how can I be okay with silence? And I think that comes from a level of confidence and happiness about your own life, because a lot of like sort of unhappy people seem to like need to fill up the conversation with buffer, like just filler talk. It's okay to just embrace, like this guy's just said, Chris Took Flight just said, sometimes you got to embrace awkwardness, and I totally agree with that. Sometimes it's fine to just sit there and like not have anything to say, man. Demin Sani super chatted 79 pennies, thank you, bro. The Darkest Summer super chatted $4.99. What would you say to teenage fathers who is stuck in a relationship with the mother? What would I say to a teenage father who is stuck in a relationship with the mother? Very tricky, man. You've got a huge responsibility on your hands, and you said you're stuck with the mother. You're not stuck with her. You like, no one's physically forcing you to sit down and stay here. You could leave. The fact that you haven't says a lot about your character traits and your virtues, which is commendable. It's respectable. You put yourself into a tricky life situation, and obviously it's not the right thing to have a child so early when you aren't totally prepared for him, but it will develop you to such a fast level, and you can't go back in time now. So the best you can do, instead of like feeling sad about it and having this like fear of missing out, or have this kind of grass is greener on the other side, the best you can do is just acknowledge your situation, know that you are here, and just make the best that you can. Be the best father that you can be, and that will come from, one, prioritizing your mental health above everything else. Always making time to sleep enough, always making time to meditate, to journal, to do these things to still have a social connection. Usually at points of extreme stress, a lot of men abandon the things they do that would actually help them the most. So at times of extreme stress, like getting a girl pregnant or actually having a child, a young man will, for example, not spend time with his male friends anymore. And of course, if your male friends are fucking degenerates who only want to drink, then yeah, don't spend time with them. But you've probably got some like very good friends that you could go to the gym with and stuff, but you don't want to make time for them because you really should be spending all time with the child and the mother. But that's actually not the case. You should be prioritizing your own health, your own sort of mental clarity, so that when you are with the child, when you are with the mother, that's when you can actually still be present and happy. Like being around 24/7 but being a shit version of yourself isn't a treat. It isn't like a present to the woman or to the child. It's actually more of an insult. It's way better for you to not be around if, for example, you need to spend an hour by yourself to like journal, to like improve yourself. And of course you still have a responsibility there, but I think a lot of young men are quite pressured. If a man gets a woman pregnant and they end up having children quite early, the man is usually quite pressured to like be a jack of all trades, to work hard, to provide, but then to also be there 24/7 because of this bullshit depolarized modern equal relationships where the man is supposed to work but then also supposed to do 50-50 childcare and house chores, which is fucking bullshit. That's never how children have been raised. So it's tricky, man. You've got a lot of stress on your shoulders, so deal with it. Honestly, men are created from stress. Anytime you feel quite pressured from this, what I would say to you, the Darkest Summer, just try and reframe your mindset. Anytime you feel very pressured, reframe your mind and just be like, you know what, I'm grateful for this, because this pressure, this stress right now is making me into a better man. Sir Trapezius super chatted £2. Perfectly Nice super chatted $10. Hey Hamza, first, thanks a lot for everything. You truly saved me from a dark place and changed my life. One of my life goals is to meet you. I hope I can. I'll leave my Discord here. Chad El Awar. You can probably meet me at some places, bro. Oh, my neck is so fucking stiff. Wherever I am, when I'm traveling, right? If I'm living at home, not so much, but when I'm traveling around like I am right now, I spend quite a lot of time with my boys. Like I've just done a big gym session with a bunch of boys 2 days ago. We had like 6 guys come train with me and everything. So come find out, man. I usually post it to my YouTube community tab, which city I'm in. So I'm traveling quite a lot this year, and if I end up coming to a city near you, like people come like travel, and then we end up spending like a bunch of hours together training and everything. My neck is so stiff, bro. Only Jeffrey thing. Wait, Israel super chatted $4.99. Hey Hamza, I'm a young man, 19, with autism. Any advice for overcoming social awkwardness and making friends? I'm not knowledgeable on autism, to be honest, so I can't really say. Overcoming social awkwardness. What I would say is I'm not knowledgeable on autism, so I could be wrong here. Maybe someone more will be, wise on this. But what I would say to you is don't label yourself with anything. So it's easy for you right now, Israel. It's easy for you to say, okay, I've got autism, and that means that I'm going to be socially awkward and I need to improve that. I wouldn't add that extra label to yourself, and instead just think, okay, my level in my social skills is quite low. I simply just need to improve my social skills. I think adding that extra label of like, oh, I'm autistic, or another young man can say like, oh, like I'm depressed, so it's going to be harder for me. Oh, I'm this. Adding that identity to yourself makes it so much harder, because you're pretty much saying, okay, I'm not a normal person who can do the normal things. I'm special, and I'm worse than everyone else, and so you almost expect yourself to perform worse. Don't keep telling yourself, oh, I'm autistic and stuff. Just say to yourself, yep, I haven't improved my social skills that much. I'm 19 years old. I spend a lot of my time on my phone watching YouTube and shit. So of course my oh, I know that guy. What was his name? So he's from Romania. It's not Andrew Tate, but yeah, this big guy in the gym. He spoke to me a few days ago. He saw me doing some kickboxing on the bag. Nice guy, man. Yeah, I would tell myself that if I was in your position, I'd just say, yep, there's nothing particularly wrong with me. I simply just need to improve my social skills. So what I'll do is I'll go onto Amazon and I'll search social skills, and I'll go and buy a couple of those books and read those books. I'll go onto YouTube and search social skills guide and watch a couple of those videos, and I treat myself just like a normal person who simply just has the desire to level up his social skills. Nuketown 190 Gaming, $7.99. Only Jeffrey thing is fapping, which I have a problem. No fap I tried and it can fail, so I want to try something else to stop with these urges to fap. So I just addressed this a few minutes ago. I'm not sure if you were watching then. Young guys go about no fap very, very... in such a... oh, man, young guys go against... let me rephrase that. Young guys find no fap and go about it in a very stupid way. With their mindset, it's so weird that like pretty much every young man who discovers nofap has this weird belief that they should suddenly be able to quit fapping and watching porn instantly. Every young guy who finds nofap feels like this, like thinks like this, and I don't get why. You found nofap, you do this habit 7 days a week, 10 times a week, 15 times a week, and suddenly you think that you're good enough to get to 0 times a week. You say, Nuketown 190 Gaming, this guy who donated, you're saying that, okay, you've tried it, but it can fail. That's like saying, okay, I've just heard about working out, I've just heard about going to the gym, and I went for a few days in a row, but then I took a rest day. That's what you've just said. You've just said, okay, you've went a few days, but then you take a day off from it. So that's the same as a fat guy saying, yep, like, I tried working out, and I went for a few days, but then I took a day off. Well, yes, of course you did, bro. That's the point. You're not good enough to get to fucking 7 workouts a week right now. That's athlete shit. You've been jacking off for so fucking long. So if you take 1 day off in the entire week, if you have 1 day where you didn't bust a nut, that's progress. Be okay with progress. So many young guys, they just want it perfect straight away. They discover nofap, and they're like, okay, I'm going to get to 7 days out of 7. I'm going to get to 90 days. Fuck you and your fucking 90-day nofap challenge, bro. Fuck you if you've set that kind of goal. Slap yourself in the face and say, like, I'm stupid as fuck for setting a goal like that. That's like discovering working out and saying, yeah, I'm going to go work out for 90 days in a row. Are you fucked? You're not good enough for that, bro. You're not an athlete yet. If you get 1 day of nofap per week, that's progress. A month from now, make that 2 days. A month from then, make that 3 days. In 7 months, in less than a year, you're on 7 out of 7 days of nofap. Congratulations, you're at the golden point of it already. But these dumbass little YouTubers that you see who are making these nofap benefits timeline, they're manipulating your brain and making you feel so shit that when you like relapse, they're making you feel shit because this dumbass comes onto YouTube and says like, oh well, I'm on day 1000 and I'm so great, and look at me, I can levitate and I can hold woman attraction. Shut up. Fucking hell, man. Semen retention, woman. Shut up, bro. Just shut the fuck up, bro. If you do 1 day of nofap this week, you're making progress. Pat yourself on the back and think, okay, obviously there's 6 more days that I want to be on nofap for, but the 1 day that I've done this week is progress. For the fat guy who goes to the gym once this week, that's progress. The fat guy shouldn't just hear about working out and, you know, get really motivated and say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every day for 90 days. If a fat guy told you that, if a fat guy looked in your face and said, okay, I've just heard of the benefits of working out, and I'm going to do this 90-day workout challenge where I'm going to work out every single day, and I've also heard that if I miss a day, I'll lose all the benefits. You'd get sad, and you'd almost think to yourself, how did this man become so delusional? Imagine telling a fat guy, go to the gym every single day for 90 days, and if you miss a day, you'll lose all of the benefits. That's what these YouTubers, these nofap YouTubers are telling you. Be on nofap, don't touch your dick, and if you do mess up, if you do relapse, then you lost all the benefits. That's what they're telling you. Because they want you, all these little nofap YouTubers, they want you to feel like shit, so you'll keep going back onto their videos. My advice for nofap is so unsexy. You know, if I told you, yeah, you're a piece of shit if you relapse. If I told you, like, oh yeah, if you relapse, you lost all the progress, so make sure you keep coming back to my nofap videos, I'd get more views. When I tell kids, like, yeah, like, oh, you relapse, yeah, well, that's normal. I relapsed for 5 years before I stopped relapsing and considering it as a relapse. Now I'm on the golden point in nofap when it doesn't even come into my mind that I'm on nofap anymore. I don't watch porn, I don't jack off. I had to relapse for 5 years, and of course, you know, at first it was like 10 times a week, then, you know, progressively got lower after that. Let's 70 Czar. There's so many donations coming in, I'm gonna change the number of it, so I apologize if it doesn't come onto the screen. I'm gonna change it to like $10 from now on. I always thought it was kind of cringe when I saw streamers do this, and they'd be like, oh, it's only $10 and up now for your thing to come on screen, but I kind of understand why, because otherwise the entire live stream is literally just me, like this shit just popping up. So, I'll go with the $10 one. Yeah. Quantum, $10. I'm 21, never told anyone this. I lost my father when I was 7 to bushfires and lost my home. It was really hard growing up without a dad. Since I found you, I've had a great role model. Thank you so much. You're welcome, man, and I'm very... That's hard, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that at such a young age, losing your father when you're 7 years old. I hope I'm making you proud, Quantum. MKLM super chatted 25 PLN. I don't know what that is. Polish. 25 Polish dollars. Values in man: body, money, purpose, confidence. What about women other than being feminine? So what values should women bring other than being feminine? I think being feminine encompasses everything else that she should be in your life. If you want a feminine woman in your life, there's guys who are a lot more feminine than I am, who are a lot less masculine than I am, and they don't mind being with a woman who brings quite a lot of masculine traits. I don't relate to that anymore. Like I did a few months ago. I thought it was normal for a girl to still be masculine, to still set goals, to still work hard and stuff. Now I'm quite frankly, I'm repulsed by that. I'm only attracted now. Like this girl that I'm with now has really set some fucking standards. I'm only with girls who are like feminine as fuck now. So sweet, so submissive, and I think that's the perfect personality for a girl. What other traits should she bring? So femininity encompasses everything else. It encompasses like happiness and nurturing and joy and being affectionate. And it depends what kind of relationship you want, man, because it's somewhat of a privilege to attract feminine girls, because you have to be a very masculine man to attract a girl who's very feminine. And then also generally this means that, for example, she won't work a job, so you have to be wealthy enough to pay for both of you every single time you go out. If you want an equal... So how do you guys think about this? Because I bet there's a bunch of like feminine ass motherfuckers in here. Should the man or the woman pay for the date, or should they split it? You'll see a bunch of comments from guys saying, oh, they should split. Those comments, the guy who thinks that you should split the check on a date come from depolarized, sort of more feminine, in the middle kind of men who want an equal relationship. And I've never wanted that. Even when I was younger, when I was like 13, 15 years old going on a date, I would always be the one paying, and not by like force or anything, because that's what's right to me. That's always been what's right to me. I don't want her to have to work a job because I work hard enough for that. I want her to literally just be like the woman, like my lover by the side, who's just ready, who's submissive, who's feminine as fuck, who's so fucking cute, who just who just makes me more of a man. I don't want to be with a woman who I end up becoming more of a boy, like a son to her. I want to be with a woman who I feel more like a father to her. If you want to like split the check because you don't have that much money and stuff, fair enough, but then like you're automatically going to attract girls who are more in their masculine energy. Ugh. $91 Mac super chatted 17 or 18 pounds. How long are you going to keeping this live stream going for, and how many more weeks are you in Scotland for? I'm in Scotland for 3 more weeks. I'm in Inverness right now. I've got an Airbnb here, and I'll live stream for probably about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, before this laptop battery dies. I'm in a car park right now because the internet in the Airbnb I'm staying at isn't that great. I expected someone to say this. So someone said, Stojakov said that's simp behavior. So I wonder, how many of you think it's simping for you to pay for every date that you go on with your woman? Answer this question. Write me in the comments if you think it's simping if you pay for 100% of the stuff with your woman. I'm interested to see how many young men think like this. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fair amount of them. There's a big delay on the live stream. Not simping. Me. It isn't simping. Nah, not if you're well off. Yeah. Most people are saying no. A bunch of people saying me. No. Yeah, so it's a split right now. For the guy saying it is simping, I just want you to imagine this black and white video of a man taking a woman out, like a gentleman taking a woman out 100 years ago. He's about to be drafted for the fucking war, and he's taking her out for like ice cream before he gets sent out, and they're like, they're in love. Who's paying? He is. Imagine calling that man a simp. He would backhand you so fucking hard with his like iron grip and his 1,500 nanograms per deciliter testosterone, and you're calling a man like that a simp. The masculine man always pays. If you have a problem with like providing for your woman, you're more feminine than you think you are, and you can try and act as smart as you want. Oh no, whatever. It means you're feminine. Simple as that. The masculine always provides. Vasilis Blazov, £10. Being able to support 2 people financially is nearly impossible until a certain age, mates. Your videos help a lot of men, but some of the things you say come from the perspective of a content creator. I am a content creator, but I wouldn't say it comes from the perspective of a content creator. It comes from the perspective of a hardworking man who's successful. So first of all, don't use that as an excuse of like, oh, but Hamza's a YouTuber and I'm not a YouTuber. No. I'm successful. There's as a flat line, if you're successful as a man, you can also provide for a woman as well. Being able to support two people financially is nearly impossible until a certain age. You're wrong there. It's not about the age. It's not about the age. It's just how successful you've become and how many years of hard work you've really put into this. I appreciate you, donating and saying something nice, like your videos help a lot of guys and stuff, but like you're speaking almost in like a victim mindset of like, oh no, but like Hamza's a YouTuber and that makes it really easy for him, and like I'm not old enough to be able to support a woman. Bro, I was fucking 16 years old going on a date with a girl and still paying. I didn't even have a job that, you just like get money from your parents or some shit. It's just about your mentality. It's like, you don't need to like, spend so much money on a girl when you go on a date. Like, no dates are really that expensive unless you get to a certain level or you've got like, this personality where you want to go for fancy shit. But even when you go for like, a cafe or something and it's like a fucking £8 bill, it just shows a lot about your personality if you're the one who just automatically, you're not even trying to like fake it or anything. It's just, it seems right to you to think like, yeah, but this is my woman and I'm the man, so I'm going to be paying. Of course I am. Of course I am. Now, if you want a depolarized modern relationship, if you want a relationship where like you're having sex once every 3 days, where like you've been a good boy and you've done the chores and now she's giving you like a fucking dry hand job or something as a reward for being a good boy, and eventually it goes down to like the frequency goes down to like once a month or something. If you want a modern relationship like that, then yeah, like encourage her to be her own strong independent woman, encourage her to make her own money and say to yourself like, oh no, but she makes her own money, so we're gonna split the bill. Nothing is going to dry up a girl faster than you looking over, oh, do you mind splitting the bill with me please because you work as well? Like, shut up, bro, come on, man. Best case scenario. Now, let me re-emphasize one thing. I don't talk for normal men. You must understand this. When you watch my videos and videos from the YouTuber First Man, for example, we're not addressing 99% of men. If you want to get into the top 1% of men, you watch my videos. If you think that's unrealistic and not everyone can get into the top 1% of men, then like go watch your fucking KSI videos. Go watch some random other guy. My videos are for the men who want to get into the top 1%. So you should strive for the absolute best circumstance possible, right? Like I have done. The best circumstance is that you're so successful and so wealthy that like you can essentially retire the woman of your choosing whenever you want. And of course, you're not just gonna fucking send her a 500k or something, but it just essentially means that she doesn't need to work some shitty job, and so she can be totally in her feminine. And it's like the extra charge of you paying for two people's dinner instead of yourself is so insignificant because you're already a very successful guy. Me spending £20 in a restaurant compared to £40 in a restaurant does nothing to my bank balance. I don't notice anything under a 10k difference in my bank. But what I do notice is that I have a feminine, submissive, sexy woman waiting for me when I finish work. That makes me like more productive. It makes me happier. It makes me more fulfilled. It makes me more dominant. It makes me more masculine. It makes me strive for the next level. And that is worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. So you're somewhat right. Like, my perspective is that of a man who is in the top 1% of men in the entire world. And also I speak to the men who are trying to get to the top 1%. If you are fine living more of a normal life, a depolarized life, then you'll never like my kind of content because I push heavily for you to get into the top % of men. Lamza, you're not even top 1% yourself, stop scamming others. You have an anime profile picture, bro, so shut the fuck up. I don't need to sit here and try and convince you if I'm in the top 1%. You can go do the math. Go look at the statistics of everything you can find in terms of attractiveness, of income, of everything, and even compare the personalities. If you imagine 100 men right now, where are you amongst them? If I imagine 100 men, I'm the best one there, 100%. It's not even close. If there's 100 25-year-olds, I'm the best guy there. Easy. 1,000 25-year-olds, I'm in the top 10 to 20. Maybe just maybe there's just, by the law of like probability, there's like a professional footballer who makes more money than I do, and he's like, I've got more muscle than him, but he's really lean and stuff, and he's got celebrity status. Yeah, fair enough. But like even then, he's gonna have 100k followers on Instagram. What's wrong with anime? Anime watchers are the funniest fucking guys, man. Anime guys who watch anime and guys who play video games, they've got like this weird level of confidence. It's like you'd never be saying this shit in person. Honestly, with your skinny neck, your skinny wrist, and fucking sweaty like BO smell, you'd never say shit like this in person. But you just spend all day watching live streams and shit, bro. Like. Jackster, £5. Hamza, where should I meet quality women? P.S. Are you proud of yourself from where you've come on this journey? You've done amazing. Good job. Where should you meet quality women? Personally, my way of meeting women, I think it's the best I've ever heard. You know, you've always heard about like, oh, cold approach and nighttime game and Tinder and Instagram and everything. Mine has always been, not always, it's somewhat of like a new thing, maybe in the last year or so. I started watching this YouTuber called First Man, 1STMAN, First Man. And he said a phrase that really stuck into me. He said, don't chase what you want, don't chase women, don't go out there. And he specifically was saying in a very practical way, he said, such a practical guy, he was like, if you leave your house like going to search for women, or if you go onto Instagram going to search for women, you'll spend like 5 hours a week. He said, instead of doing that so practically, he was like, just keep improving yourself till you get to the point where it's fucking easy, where like just on your normal day-to-day life you get girls. In my normal day-to-day life, I actually get such a good level of attraction from girls now that makes it easy to have like an abundance of options. So you know what's really interesting? By asking this question, obviously you're watching self-improvement content, so chances are you're not just there just yet. But by asking this question, like, where should I meet girls? It shows that you don't really understand, because you don't need to meet women in a particular area. You just need to be a particular level of man, and then you will meet women everywhere. If you are absolutely by far the best man, for example, I'm in a shopping center right now, right? If I'm the best man here, but I'm also like very physically attractive, then here is the right place to meet women. But if I wasn't attractive, then this wouldn't be the right place to meet women. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, it's not about the actual location. People, like, it would get me so many more views if the top 7 places to meet women. Number 1, the gym. Number 2, a coffee shop. Shut up, bro. Those videos would get so many views. The truth is, it doesn't matter where you meet her. It just matters what level of man you are. Now, in terms of just physical attractiveness, if you're a physically attractive, tall, attractive kind of guy, good style, then yeah, be outside in public more often. Now, if you have, for example, a very good personality, if you can build a success online on social media and stuff, then potentially attract women through there. So there's a lot of like my female fans who are attracted to me because of like the personality I display and the attractiveness and like the pre-selection, because they've seen me date other girls and everything. And so when I did used to have an Instagram, a lot of you guys might not believe it, but when I had an Instagram, I would have girls coming on to me hard on Instagram, sending me DMs, at least 2, 3, 4 per week of girls sending me the exact same message of like, oh, hey, Hamza, I know your videos are for guys, but I'm a girl and I really like your videos. And I remember at the start of this year, I dated the first like fan of mine, and I was somewhat like a bit, I don't know how many of you would say like, oh, it's wrong or if it's right or something. I was a bit like uncertain about it. And this hot girl at the start of this year literally sent me 3 messages. It was in my message request saying, hey Hamza, love your videos, let's go on a date, it'll be worth your time. Imagine a girl, like a very, very attractive girl, sending you those messages, and dead ass, and I'm like, you probably won't believe this shit, bro. She traveled 3 hours, got to the city that I told her to meet me in an extra 3-4 hours early so that she could get ready. She booked the hotel, booked the I booked the bar that we were going to go to. Met her there. She's wearing a fucking nice ass dress. She's sexy as fuck. Go back to the hotel. She's paid for the hotel and everything just to have like a night with me. So this anime profile picture motherfucker can keep saying, oh well, Hamza, you're not in the top 1%, but bro, that isn't happening to 99% of men. So it's not about the location, this autistic advice of like, oh yeah, well, go to a coffee shop or go to the gym and find girls in the gym. It's not about that. It's become a level of man where girls are just interested in you, and then it becomes fairly easy. I was just in the gym then, and this guy who works in the gym, but he looks like a Giga Chad version of the TikTok, the TikTok boys with like curtains for the hair, like long hair and like abs and everything. He looked like that kind of style. And I shit you not, bro, a pretty attractive girl approached him. I saw her looking kind of nervous, like anxiously looking towards him. She takes her earphones off with almost like a sense of confidence, walks towards him and approaches him, and he just seems so bored by her. It's not about the location, it's just what level of man are you. Bismarck family super chatted €10. Hey Hamza, first of all, I'm very grateful for your important work that you've done because it helped me study, but I am still critical of your masculine feminine. I would like a conversation. What are you critical of? Oh, my neck is so fucking stiff, bro. The chat's moving so fast I can barely even read it, bro. What's this guy said? How do I naturally increase testosterone? I want to become the best version of myself. I haven't fapped for a month and it doesn't affect me anymore. I started to work out, etc. Testosterone is the problem. First of all, you've said testosterone is the problem, like you're certain of it, but you're only really certain of testosterone if you get a blood test. And I highly recommend, even if you're a young guy, just pay for a blood test. It's somewhat expensive, but the ROI of it's high. So in the UK, maybe it's £50, right? So if you're a young guy, you know, it's kind of expensive. But if you're a bit older, if you're like older than 18, bro, the price of a blood test shouldn't be anything to you, because you should be working hard enough to be able to buy things for your health. Pay for a blood test and get one, a testosterone test. Get one and see where your number's at. We're going to know for certain that your number is going to be low. Now, it might be in the average, the bullshit average range of modern men. So this is like the stuff I hate doctors for. You go to the doctor. No, let me clarify. You go to your fat doctor. You go to your fat doctor who doesn't do any exercise, who can't even run a mile, who can't lift more than 20 kilograms. You go to your fat doctor and you ask him for a testosterone test because you don't feel like a man, because your sex drive is low, you've got low libido, you're tired all the time, you're lethargic, you're depressed. And your fat doctor doesn't really take you that seriously. But eventually you convince him enough to get you a blood test. This is if you don't want to go private. Even if you're in the UK, you just fucking pay for a private blood test, bro. It's £50 rather than going through this shit of going to the healthcare and trying to get like your doctor to get one for you for free. So your doctor organizes one, they get one done, and your number is lower than what an 85-year-old man would have had 200 years ago. But because men of this day and age are very, very weak and, you know, have low testosterone and submissive and feminine, you're in the normal range. So the normal healthy range in my country, in the UK, and in most countries, is 250 nanograms per deciliter to around 950. If you're in this normal range, you're considered healthy and they won't essentially do anything for you. This range, I don't have to explain anything further than just say, like, this is the range that the modern man is in. So to be in the range, to be at somewhat of the same level, to be at the somewhat of the same testosterone level as the men who walk past you should piss you off. You should like go and look at the men who walk past you. There's my baby over there, bro. She's got ass, man. Fucking hell. To be in the same range as the men who walk past you, these like fat, frail looking men, and I'm not trying to be horrible, but you know, the average man is fucking pathetic. To be in the same range as them, and then for your doctor, your fat doctor, to look at you and say like, nope, yeah, it's in the range. What you want me to do? You're healthy. Fuck that. The range is based off average men. Everything that we're doing here, everything I preach online is based on not becoming average. It's based on becoming the top 1% of men. I don't think you should be fine with being in the healthy range, and that seems so like crazy. More plates, more dates. That big YouTuber, he responded to my video about testosterone, and he almost acted like I was a bit delusional by saying like, if you're in the average range, you've actually got low testosterone for what a man should have, because it shows that you've got the average levels of these fucking guys around us. But the average range is so fucking low compared to what it normally would be. So even if you're in the normal healthy range, you've like the average range, you clearly do actually have low testosterone compared to what men should have. We should have like triple the level of testosterone that we actually do right now. Why do you think this is? Why do you think that there is somewhat of this like war on testosterone? Why is there such a delay for doctors to take young men seriously when they come to them with symptoms of low testosterone, of low libido? Their dicks don't even work. They just push over weak, submissive men. Why don't doctors take this seriously and actually administer hormones more likely for men? My brother is a doctor. He's kind of like a GP, and he actually wants to come onto a video with me because he said he wants to rant about how the NHS works here. Because he said if a woman comes and she wants to get hormone replacement therapy, so she wants essentially testosterone to be, you know, it's more complicated than this, but she wants male hormones to become a male. Like that, no questions asked, you have to give it to them. But he said when men come, they have to go through such a procedure. Like a man has to cry to the doctor and say that he's going to end up killing himself because he's so depressed and his dick doesn't work and he can't have sex. And even then the doctor will like administer antidepressants, which also have a side effect of stopping your dick from working, instead of just considering something like testosterone. Maybe because like these dumbass doctors think it's like risky or it's dangerous, or, you know, if we give this guy testosterone, then he's going to become a big bodybuilder and it's going to scare me because, do you know what I mean? Bro, I love you, but get a haircut. Is that crazy what I'm saying? Is that crazy to like not be okay with what a doctor says? Because we in this modern world, we've been conditioned from the education system to just automatically accept whatever the authority says, and the authority, especially if it's police or a doctor, if it's one of those two, you've been told, okay, straight away, they're the professional, you're not, you're a dumb idiot, they're the professional, whatever they say is fine. But then if you do some reading into this, you realize that the police make a lot of mistakes. If you do some reading into this, you realize that doctors, the people in like the medicine industry, make a lot of mistakes. When you look at your family doctor and he's got a big bulging stomach, and you know for a fact he can't run for a mile without heaving, like without falling over, and this guy is instructing you on your health, something about that doesn't sit right with me. But if you criticize your doctor, it's, oh wow, you're a bad person, and oh, we shouldn't trust him. Always listen to your doctor, everybody. Shut up. What's up, August? August super chatted 109 SEK. Singaporean escort knowledge. I used to have zero confidence talking to people / girls, but after I taught myself to just act like I had the confidence, it came automatically to me. Yeah, man, that's the power of belief. If there's something that you want right now that you don't have, you may as well just believe that you've already got it. For example, if you're right now not a very confident young man, you may as well just delude yourself into thinking you're confident. Oh. Testing 1 2. Can you still see me? I think my the recording went down. Testing 1 2. Oh, my MacBook ran out of space. The fuck is this? I think we'll leave it there, boys. Been streaming for like 1.5 hours. We'll go through this last donation here. What is it? The darkest summer, $10. My job doesn't allow me to work out because I'm in a confined space all day, and I'm only home 2 days a week. I'm still fit, but don't want to lose my hard work. Will 2 days of a hard session be enough? Yeah, honestly, 2 sessions a week. Like, obviously, just do full body. Hopefully, they're not 2 days next back to back. But if they are, then I would do upper lower. If they're 2 days with a bit of space in between them, then I'd do full body twice. And you can still make gains from 2 days a week, honestly. Just do the big fucking, you know, the conventional advice of like, oh yeah, big compound lifts, heavy compound lifts. If you can only go 2-3 times a week, I would literally just stick to doing squats, incline bench press, bent over row, something like that. Nothing to fear, man. Sometimes life does get in the way and you can only do like 2 days a week anyway. Sweet, I'm gonna end it off there, boys. I need some water. I've rinsed through all the bottles we have in here. This is nice, isn't it? I'm able to stream from the car now, because I can't stream from the Airbnb I'm staying in. The internet's very bad, and even my phone data is too slow there because it's like out in the wild. But we're in the city right now. But I appreciate you all coming in for the stream. We've got like 2,000 people watching right now, mashallah. Sweet, boys, I'm heading off. Take care, everyone.